Fling Show. The Fling Show. Y'all wanna know about the mystery of flight. You wanna hear about the scene done right. So kill your TV and just come outside. We're gonna take you on a beautiful ride. The Fling Show. The Fling Show. The Fling Show. The Fling Show. The Fling Show.
I'm here with Claire Stillwagon.
Hi.
The Fling Show sports correspondent. I want to say junior sports, but we're doing a lot more than juniors. How you doing today, Claire?
I'm doing good.
Are you having fun?
Yes. I've never actually had this much fun in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's because I like getting out in the fresh air, making new friends, having fun, walking around with the camera, filming.
So what are we doing now?
Now we will be going to film Sumac and her friends.
That's right.
At Hall 7, I think?
Sumac over there doing some yoga,
They're doing some yoga.
doing some stretches. And just in case people don't know who Sumac is, what is she known for?
She is known for tie-dyeing us a lot of things.
Yeah.
And selling them to lots of our members.
That's right.
In Northside Chang'an and
Here,
staff.
I'll give you an example. For me, I don't wear a lot of tie-dye stuff, but I love her towels. So I've always thrown a Sumac towel.
Yeah, and then she even tie-dyed me a shirt.
She did?
Yeah, she did.
Cool.
And I still have it.
All right. Here. Thanks for the interview. We'll go now. We'll switch over to Sumac's card. Claire's gonna interview you.
All right. You're getting so tall, girl. What grade you gonna be in?
Next year after this virus thing, I will be in 4th grade.
In 4th grade. That's so cool. Those were good years.
After this.
Oh, I hear they're talking. Yeah.
Your social distancing on your group.
Oh, we're live.
Can't hug you.
Hey, we're live. That's your dad talking right now.
All right. Well, welcome to the Fling Show, guys. It's our 2-minute drill. Little updates on some local course information. Bear Branch had a open, close, misinformation. Some people were playing it. Some people are thinking that it was open. However, it's come to find out the Park and Recreation, the Woodlands, Texas, still believes that park is closed. So if you do see them, they will ask you to leave the course. I did hear, however, that the COVID testing sign is down at the Stonebridge course. Not sure if the course is open. However, I do know that some of our local players have ventured out there and are playing it currently. So I'll be looking forward to seeing some information on the opening of that course as well. I did receive some information today from Chase Pruitt regarding the PDGA and Sanctioned League play. He is saying that look forward to some information about them releasing PDGA Sanctioned Leagues again for us to be able to play them. At least that was the feeling I got from him. Follow that up with the Northside Chain Gang finally did have their first mini last weekend at Shawshank. It was a COVID testing, distancing policy thought of a mini that they were going to throw. Did have some ideas that kind of they were trying to adhere to. I would still say it was a work in progress at best. You did still have some people who were huggers and people who were handshakers and people who weren't huggers and people who weren't handshakers. And you still have some gatherings that were fairly close. So I think that's still going to be a work in progress to see how the players in this area decide to mingle when we do get back into action. I do want to follow up with, though, that this week some good news is we have finally got a match play in the McHemi Vision Fling Show. A challenge was thrown out by one Anthony A.P. Perkins, and he has challenged the one and only David Hemi to a match play event. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, AP is rated at a 995 rated, and Hemi is a 985 rated, and Hemi is a 983. So it should be an incredible match. Looking to have it at Spring Valley this Thursday, however, weather permitting. And hopefully we have a little pool with the course designer, letting them play that beautiful silver course that they have out there in Spring Valley. Look forward to that. And finally, we are going to be calling out the 16 players in our area. We are going to be doing a match play, single elimination tournament. Okay? Meaning the top 16 players in this area will be seeded by also by those who decide to play. We do have invitations that we'll be sending out to y'all individually. And for those who are unable to play, or maybe this just isn't your speed, we will also be looking to fill those spots with people that, as we say, have the balls to show up and throw against some of the best in this area. So do look forward to that coming up here soon. And hopefully, I think we'll be working on some sponsors, and maybe David can lead us into a little more information about that. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, what's happening, Chris?
Oh, man, just a great day. How about yourself?
Oh man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful outside. It got a little bit of rain for my flowers and my lawn. It was good. Fill up the pool, all that stuff. It's been an exciting week in disc golf. You know, I got out. I've thrown. I went out to Shawshank as well as you know that. We went out and got a little bit of coverage, and we didn't play, but we got out and we got to see what was happening, and we got to see maybe a little bit of life back in the sport, and see what it was going to look like. So that was exciting. I've been doing a little putting. I've been out, went to RP and saw the new basket that somebody generously donated, and still looking forward to finding out who that was, and the mystery of the disc catcher on hole 3 at River Plantation. You know, everybody knows those baskets are terrible out there. And the one they replaced, the one that got stolen, is my favorite basket. So it's a great place to go practice putt, and it's in the shade. I was like looking at it going, this is going to be my summer practice zone right here on hole 3, because they got a disc catcher in the shade right there at River Plantation. But thank you, disc golf gods, whoever sent that basket. Thank you. So you ready to bring on Meridith?
Let's bring on Meridith. We need to bring on Meridith.
All right. Welcome to the show, Meridith.
Ah, there she is.
What's up?
Hi there. So glad to be here tonight.
Yeah, welcome.
Great to see ya.
How are you?
Hey, you got that buzz hat. Liking that.
You know it.
Definitely.
Represent.
That's right. Discgraph sponsored, buzz throwing, fling and bling right here. Thanks for coming.
Meredith, have you been able to get out and throw it all?
Yes, I have at least been going out a couple times during the week. By myself today, I met a new friend, a girl wanting to get to know some disc golf girls. So that was cool. This week is actually kind of filled with meeting girls. Like I'm meeting Michelle and Melanie tomorrow night. So this week is new. This is kind of my first time going out and meeting some girls. So no more than 3 of us at a time. I've gone on the weekends with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I started that a couple weeks ago, just going with a couple people.
We also need to give a quick shout out to Nikki Nash and those beautiful buttons she's made for the Chicks Chasing Chains.
Yes, definitely.
I purchased mine. Please, everybody, go and support this group. It is a wonderful cause, and let's grow the sport.
Yep, come and join us.
Yeah, Meridith and I talked about that earlier, and how much I love that logo. It's amazing. They really did a good job. And who was that again,
yes,
Meridith?
It's Chris over at Perfect Putt 360. Chris Zagone, I believe, is his last name, and he did an outstanding job. Great guy. Go check him out.
And he's a Houston guy?
He's actually in Louisiana.
Okay.
Lafayette or Homer.
Yeah, amazing logo. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. So he does that for a living, and he has the Perfect Putt 360, who Nikki is actually sponsored by as well. So yeah, he has a lot of great things going, and a great game.
Yeah, well, great. Well, we have a good night tonight, and a really special guest. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Andy's up to. But we're gonna bring on Andy, and looking forward to hearing what she has, to offer from Spring Valley.
I'm back.
Hey, there she is.
Yay!
Hey, what's up?
Whoa!
Yay! Woo!
Hey,
It's so good to have you here. Our local legend, as I always refer to you as.
Thank you. Thank you. I just keep doing what I do.
Yeah. So you're doing what you do, but what made you like get into disc golf to begin with?
Actually, I spent a lot of time in college cutting class to play frisbee in the quad.
Oh.
So, yep, that's kind of how it started.
Turned into disc golf?
Actually, no. My first introduction was an invitation from the rock radio station in Metairie, Louisiana, to come play in a frisbee tournament, and I went to that. It was all about accuracy, distance, this other thing called freestyle is what got me into everything to begin with. I was a freestyler. It wasn't until I went to a very serious tournament there where I was introduced to disc golf. And once I learned about that, the rest of it, I didn't, it was all about disc golf from the 1982.
So you're saying it was a tournament out of a medley of frisbee. So you had the freestyle, which is the like one of the first world champs. Didn't she do that now with JC? It took me a long time to realize who she was on the AVR RKC.
Oh, Juliana.
Juliana, I'm sorry. Didn't she freestyle?
Juliana Corver was an amateur woman who I first met in Iowa at a very interesting tournament that was sponsored by Bud Light or Budweiser, excuse me. And I flew up there. I'd already been playing for a while. Met this girl. She went on to become a 5-time world champion. I'd been playing for several years. She did nothing related to freestyle. Juliana used to come to Texas when we had the Texas State Disc Golf Championships, which I re-originated here in Houston, and she would come and stay with me. And only now in her later years of her career did she take up freestyle. And oh my God, she is fabulous. Yes. So yeah.
That's amazing. So let me ask, when did you know that you wanted to go pro?
When I was introduced to disc golf and the PDGA back in 1982, there was only one division to join when you wanted to become a member of the PDGA. Granted, I became a member of the International Frisbee Association first, the IFA, and which was an Ed Hedrick creation. And then the PDGA was only Professional Disc Golf Association when I started playing disc golf. So when you joined the PDGA, when I did, you were a pro from the get-go. The amateur divisions didn't come along, I want to say 87, 88, maybe somewhere around that time when the amateur divisions were introduced. So you were a pro when you joined, when I was there. Mm-hmm.
So were there ladies that went back to amateur once it became an option, or were there ladies?
That's an interesting point, because as the sport became more established and ratings became more interesting or more of an issue to determine what division you were in, I would say that it began mostly with the guys, of course, because they outnumber us. I mean, come on, they outnumber us, 1,000, 5,000 to 1. So With the girls, it was never really that much of an issue until it got much more into the later years. And the first time I really saw that was with some of the young girls that turned pro that really should be amateurs, some of the age protected pro women that really should be amateurs. Susan Macaluso is a very good example of that. So yeah, it didn't come along for the girls until much later than it did for the guys. For me personally, my rating dictates that I could definitely play in an amateur division, but becoming a PDGA member in 1982 as a pro woman and playing as a pro my entire career, I don't know. I just can't. I will be a pro no matter if I get my brains beat out. So
I love your game. It's so consistent and beautiful. Like I could learn so much. I just love it. I love it.
Thank
So let me
you.
ask, what was it like going through being indicted as being your disc golf Hall of Famer? Like, what was the experience?
Well, I wasn't indicted because I didn't do anything wrong.
Inducted. Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
was
Big word.
inducted. That's really cute. No, that's cool. I was
Have you ever been
inducted.
indicted?
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm blonde. I
That's
got
another
extra
story.
blonde this week, so just laugh at me. Thank you.
You guys have you guys have no idea, being the only woman in an all male sport for as many years as I was on the ground floor, how many times I was kind of indicted because
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll leave that one for a chapter in my book. But my induction into the Disc Golf Hall of Fame was a very long time coming. When it finally happened, it was so serendipitous. The year 2018, and when I finally decided, oh, okay, it might not ever happen. So I gave up on really worrying about it. And then sure enough, there came the phone call. And it was probably the combination of it being the year that my mom fell and almost lost her life, with her brain injury, combined with that, the high and the low of a year of all of that. It is definitely one of the biggest highs ever. When you put all that together. And then I still have my mom, who, by the way, turned 80 on Mother's Day.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Thank y'all. Deanna.
Deanna.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So very blessed for that. So the combination of all the years of pioneering, just working, just loving it, just doing what we do because just the passion for the game. And for it to come in 2018, which, by the way, in my mom's heritage, which is the Jewish religion, Jewish, and the year 18 is a symbol of chai, which means life. And so for it to all happen in that year meant that it wasn't meant to be until that year. So it was very special.
Oh,
Very special.
cool.
That's
I
great.
love
Who was in your class that you were indicted with?
I'm so incredibly lucky. First off was Jay Redding,
Yep.
who, Jay Redding. I mean, we go back for many years. They took the educational of the education of disc golf and pioneered that. And granted, the pictures that I sent to Chris, I sent you guys a couple of pictures of
Thank you
my
for that.
pioneering of education, disc golf and education. Those preceded what they did, and they have acknowledged that my school of disc golf was a predecessor to what they brought to it. They were educators, and so it was only natural that they took it to the next level, which was meant to be too. And then along with Jay and Des, who was inducted the year before Jay and I were, I have the honor of being inducted with one of the most incredible people ever to contribute to our sport. His name is George Sappenfield. And if you have never heard of George Sappenfield, he is the gentleman that pretty much went to Ed Hedrick with the concept of playing disc golf. And George is now we met at our induction ceremony, had never known each other. As a matter of fact, when Speedy called me, and told me I was being inducted, and then he told me who else, and he told me Jay, and I went, okay, and he told me George Sappenfield, and I was like, oh my God, I've never heard of him. So I went and looked him up, and of course he's in Jim Paul Mary's book, A Chain of Events. And George and I are now a year and a half, 2 years later from being inducted into the Disc Golf Hall of Fame together. I'm the administrator of the Disc Golf Hall of Fame, and he is my co-administrator.
That's incredible. I'm taking notes. I have to go back.
A lot has happened.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ed about several weeks into this adventure, this Fling show thing that we've had, this idea. I was doing this morning kind of meditation thing, and all of a sudden that Ed Hedrick saying of most fun wins just pops into my head. And I messaged Chris that morning. I was like, dude, this has to be our motto. We have to be about fun. Every show needs to be about fun, and we need to bring the fun to the show every time, and not be so serious and stuffy about things, and just let it fly. And that's where that's where the Fling show name kind of came from too.
Well, I think that's awesome, and I
Thank you.
don't know if you guys have heard me over the years, but that's our motto at Spring Valley, is the most fun wins. And I say that to people
Nice.
almost every day for
Yeah.
years. I've said that. We have two mottos. One is the most fun wins, and that is from my roots of being an Ed Hedrick disciple directly. And the other one is thanks for playing, because I mean, we appreciate all of you. Y'all are my kids.
Yeah. Well, we feel that, we know that, and we appreciate it. And I know that a lot of times some things happen and things seem political or whatever, but we just want you to know that we talk only good about you, and we're with you 100%. And we love what Spring Valley and what you brought to it.
Of course, that's what we appreciate first. I mean, you guys, my history is so deep, and the things that I've weathered over so many years. I have a pretty interesting reputation, and I know that. But the bottom line is, it all comes from the heart. My goodness sakes. I mean, we're running a business. I don't always make the best and most popular decisions, but at the end of the day, I'm taking care of other people. I'm taking care of you guys. We have to sleep, and the most fun still wins. That's what matters. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, speaking of fun, I'm very lucky and fortunate. Andy, now I look back upon it. We have almost known you almost 7 years now. But when I started out, most people don't know is that I played against Andy. I can't even count how many times we played against each other. And when I first started off and got back into it, like anybody else, I was having big troubles. And Andy, to me, besides being, so steeped in the history of the game itself, you're a great teacher. You educate people on it. You help people while they're out on the course. You teach them about a game within the game that some people don't see, because sometimes it's not always about the longest and the farthest, and sometimes it's a different type of game, which I know that you've really formulated your game as you get older, because obviously you don't throw as far as you used to. But I was fortunate enough to walk with you many, many times and have many, many rounds against you. But I look at you more as a designer and a teacher, because that's the way I met you. And if you could speak a little bit to that your passion for both, I think that it definitely stands out in who you are and what you have made here at Spring Valley in Houston, Texas, for sure.
Well, Chris, you always made it fun, because I always felt like I had a X on my back, a mark on my back, and always, you guys were always chasing that, and so that fueled my fire to play well. The competitive field being my age, there was never a big field to play against, but there was always you guys. You guys always gave me that, oh, I still have to practice and I still have to throw the straight line and I still want to beat you too. So yeah, for sure. Y'all make it fun for me. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate what we're saying about that, because I will tell you, disc golf is art. Disc golf is the art of release, the art of flight, and the art of speed. And depending on what you're throwing, it's all about your technique and what your game is about, and realizing that you're never gonna you know, if you're not capable of it, then don't try it. Just make it the best that you can be. And that's really what makes it so much fun, is when you accomplish your score. So that's always my message. Pick the spot that you know that you can hit. Throw the straight line. Stand and deliver. You don't always have to have this incredible run up and be the one that throws the farthest. Actually, those are the ones that spend the most time in the shoal on the left or the right, depending on if you're left or right handed. So it is definitely an art of flight. And that's the part that is I have the most passion about. The design aspect, I've had many, many years of design. We have always designed with what we've been given. Granted, here in Houston, Texas, there's been a variety of things that we've been given. I was criticized for many, many years for only designing for the recreational player. Well, we weren't really ever given a championship caliber facility to design for until Oak Meadow. I would have to say that Bridgeland, Oak Meadow, was probably one of the first that we did ourselves. So it was always, and the other thing is, we were always growing the sport here. So we always designed to make it fun. The bottom line with disc golf for me is, again, the most fun wins. And so let's make it fun. And then whatever the facility gives you, design it appropriately.
Now, we could talk all day long, that is for sure. And I always like to leave a little bit on the bone because we want to have you back more than this, that's for sure. But I do want to give you a little opportunity to address what is going on today, because obviously what we've been going through for the last 3 months has affected you personally with your business. Moving forward, with the information that you have currently, what do you see happening, and what are you planning on doing moving forward as far as league plays goes, tournament play goes, and any other form of opening up the rest of your course is concerned?
Well, as you guys all know, we decided to keep Spring Valley closed through the stay-at-home order. Our main goal was to follow the state's order, the governor. When we closed completely at first, and then we only reopened for golf because being members of the Golf Course Superintendents Association and having that other aspect of our business, we were given guidelines and protocols and allowed to be open. We could have also been open for disc golf, but the combination of the PDGA guidelines that they requested, not that we were only following that, but the combination of that, and we just needed to take it really, really slowly. We decided just to stay closed for disc golf because Conroe was open, Cypress Wood was open. There were other places that were open, and we wanted to observe how that was going. And so we just kind of observed those things, waited. The protocols that we had to undertake to be open safely for golf were tedious and tiring. And then it got to a point where we've all had a chance to bring in data about this virus and understand a whole lot more about it, and felt that when the governor's order did expire, that we had the protocols in place because we've been practicing them with golf. And so we were going to slowly do the same things with disc golf, which we have. Tee times at Spring Valley, spacing 15 minutes apart, following the state's orders, only 4 people per group. At first I wanted to do 5, but right after that is when the order expired and the governor said 4. So we're trying to follow the law, remain safe, keep everybody coming out to play now, and social distancing. And then we opened the Disc Golf Pro Shop with even tighter constraints. So we're welcoming everybody back. We're monitoring all of everything. We're monitoring everything. We just want to keep everybody safe. And if you're going to come to Spring Valley, please call ahead if you're going to play. And if you're going to come in, just wash your hands.
Yep. I got
Well, what
the
about the tournaments? What about the leagues? What about anything moving forward with that?
It's funny that you're asking, because I'm on right now, asking today, as a matter of fact, finding out about sanctioning of leagues, what they're thinking about reopening leagues. We want to bring our Tuesday mini back, but we're not going to do that until sanctioning. We've been talking about doing our own tea time thing as well. I'm just not totally settled on it yet. The Sunday morning mini, from what I'm hearing this week, the Monday Northside mini went. Tonight, River Grove with their gigantic ace pot, which draws people. We're observing, I guess I could say. We're observing right now.
Okay.
What are you observing? I mean, what are you seeing from your perspective? Because the reason I asked, Chris and I went out to Shawshank and we observed, and we saw, what we saw. What do you think is happening, and how does it relate to disc golf moving forward?
I hope that I want us to all be able to continue to play. Everybody seems to really like doing the tea time thing at Spring Valley. We want to continue with that, because then you're coming with a group. You're not going to be left behind. It's a done deal. And I really think that, honestly, where the virus is concerned at this point, we're moving into the warmer months, and vitamin D is the best thing for all of us. And as far as getting coronavirus from a basket, I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. At this point, the baskets are bathed in sunlight or UV light, and I think that we're moving into an area where it is safer to play. I just want to follow protocols that make everyone else feel safe. What my personal opinions are one thing, but where other people are concerned, I'm trying to bring it all together so that it works for everybody.
I think that's solid. I think that's good thinking. I like it a lot. And what's ironic about it is this whole shutdown, all this craziness happened pretty much like a couple of weeks after we had talked about in terms of the league thing, running shotgun starts, and how, to me, how outdated that seems now, because the flex start seems like the way to go now, and it seems like you had some foresight happening there, and which we appreciate.
It's kind of ironic, because I was all excited for just the new movement, and this pandemic has just kind of changed everybody's thinking. Granted, don't let it totally absorb you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, I mean, it is what it is, and it's here now, but we know so much more about it. When it first started, we didn't know anything, and it was very scary, but that's not the case anymore. We know a whole lot more about it, and just because you get it doesn't mean you're going to die. There are protocols to treat. So let's all take a deep breath and just take that part of it one day at a time. Where our sport is concerned, it's about doing it appropriately so that everybody feels good and safe about doing it.
Hmm. Well, this vibe that I'm feeling from you, it comes from a good place, and I know you and I have talked about the whole yoga thing, and I've been really, just hammering into, laying into the yoga since this whole thing started. I've done a couple of 30-day sessions and really gotten back into it on a
That's
regular
awesome.
basis, and just having that routine has really helped my mind. And I was just curious about your yoga history and how it came about, how long you've been doing it, what got you into it. Just tell us a little bit about your yoga history.
Um, you, my yoga history started with a kind of some major ups and downs in my life several years ago, and I was introduced to it, and it the gave me the opportunity to breathe, and it pulled me through a lot of interesting things. Um, the routine and the discipline and the breath. And I was extremely dedicated to it for quite a few years, probably 5 years solid. Uh, and then my mom had her accident, and I had to kind of step away from it for a bit. And I missed it terribly because the discipline of it gave me balance. It gave me clarity and thinking. It helped my disc golf game tremendously.
Yeah,
um,
that was my other question, is how does it help your game? Because I know how it helps my game. And
oh yeah,
so
breathing.
talk about
Most
that.
breathing is a ujjayi breath where you're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, with basically at a pace of a count of four, even deeper if you can, 4 or 5 counts in, 4 or 5 counts out, especially when you're when you're putting, is amazing to give you a calm, to help you focus. The more you practice it, the more you center yourself. When you're practicing all your routine, the balance was amazing, especially when you're stuck in the side of the woods and you're having to step out on one foot and throw balanced on one leg. The strength of your quads that yoga gave to be able to pick that, throw that shot and stand it up and make that anhyzer come out of it, and get down that tight fairway. That was always a really wonderful reward for sticking to my practice. I will tell you that since the pandemic and Don is working from home all every day now since HP, he works at HP, so their technology, so he's been at home, and he and I have started doing a yoga practice together, which is
It's great.
fantastic. It's gotten me back to my practice, and now he's doing it with me. So
That's
I
great.
highly recommend it. Yeah.
Well, I moved outside about for my last 30 days and discovered it. It's so much better outside, especially this spring with all the flowers and the fragrant plants that are all around, my pool. I mean, it's just amazing. The bird sounds, the crisp air, everything about it was just perfect. And so that I'd recommend definitely going outside.
It's
I
been
was
the
kind
most
of I
perfect
was kind of
weather for sure.
afraid. Yeah, the weather's been amazing. I was kind of afraid at first, because the neighbors, what might they think? This weird old guy out there doing yoga, doing yoga, but
No, no, I think that's awesome. Is that your mod thing that I saw? I saw
Maud, no,
something.
I went running. That was
Okay.
running with Ahmad. This guy that was gunned down and for being, a black man running in a white neighborhood, and that was what that was about. And so
Oh.
I took off running one day like Forrest Gump to try it out, and discovered that I miss it. I miss that, the muscle aches and all that stuff. So I've been running. I
Oh,
did
wow.
an Alex Hughes round yesterday at River Plantation, back to back 9 holes running them, like Alex. But
And saw the new basket. That's so cool. I
yeah,
saw your
do
post about that.
you know
Yeah.
anything about that?
No, but I wonder if the guy that underwrote that, I do know that there was a gentleman that lived, or somebody that lived in that neighborhood that originated that course, and I'm wondering if this is the same guy.
Yeah, it's
I don't
cool,
know.
man. It's really,
Yeah.
it was a guy, a friend of mine named Brian. You probably know him. He's the one that messaged me that story of running into the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't want to divulge his name or anything, but I definitely wanted to show you guys that story, and because
Yeah.
I was amazed at that. First of all, he picked a disc catcher, and which is like my favorite basket to putt on, and he put it in the shade. So I'm like, there's my summer practice basket right there. But anyway.
Very cool. And I'm glad that somebody's looking out for that little course because, yeah, it is a nice little course.
I love it. I go there a lot, mostly for field work on the ball golf side, but there's also, it's also a good running course. I like to run.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
well, thanks for everything tonight, Andy. We really appreciate it, and we hope we can make this a regular thing because, like you said, you're like our mom, and we need to check in with our mom every once in a while.
Because I tell you what, there are more stories to tell you guys, and especially relative to the pictures that I sent when I sent those from the origins of how disc golf really started in Houston. And there's a whole lot that I could tell you guys about that.
I can't wait.
She's the library of information right there. I mean, I've had wonderful conversations with her when I had the opportunity to work with her as well. And yes, there are numerous amounts of stories. We could spend here all night long. So I'm like Hemi. I appreciate you coming on this evening. And I definitely look forward to you coming on again because we've only scratched the surface as far as the information that that's for sure.
Well, you guys, I'm very excited for what you're doing. It's fun to watch. When this all came about with the league and now with the podcast and everything, I've watched them. It's fun to hear what our locals are saying, and you guys are presenting very well. So I wish you all the best of luck. And thanks so much for your support as well. I'm here for you. If I can do anything, if we can do anything, let us know. And thanks so much. I appreciate you having me.
Well, since you asked, no, I was going to tell you, we threw down Chris at the top of the show. He said that it was AP threw down the challenge. It was me. I challenged AP to a little skins match or little match play. And so we're gonna start up our McHemi Vision match play challenge, and we're throwing it out this week. And actually, AP and I, if the weather permits, we're going to play on Spring Valley for our match. A little this would be a little $20 startup match to try to generate some attention, but we're going to eventually have this be an all-in, pay to play, winner take all, and then the last match will be a skins match. But we want to use Spring Valley and we specifically the silver, so we're hoping that'll be open to us on Thursday or Friday.
Just for two.
We're fishing
just for
Y'all
two.
Know, that's fine. Y'all know somebody who can make that happen.
I said that. That's what I said. I said that.
Yeah. We're pleading with you. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed now that I've embarrassed myself, but we're pleading with you for a
But we're going to film it. We're going to definitely give props to Spring Valley per usual. And we're going to put that out on YouTube and Facebook page and put that out there. And I think that if you haven't heard, that's David's favorite course is the silver layout anyway.
Oh
So
my God, mine too. So I can relate to that. But no, y'all got it. I absolutely, and thank you. Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah, I've said this before. The silver is that's your, to me, that's your masterpiece so far.
coup de grace.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, because the gold was the gold for what it was, but the silver, yeah, that one helped me to exhale as well. So yeah,
Yep.
so we'll make it happen. I love it. Thank you.
Was there any other thing, anybody you'd like to thank, or anything else you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, of course. As you guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, I'll just give you a little insight. We just announced, and I didn't really announce it in a huge public forum, but we are no longer vending. We have decided to end our vending career. We were the only one around that did it. We started it here. But since everything that's gone on, we've decided to just bring everything in-house. So we have everything at Spring Valley now, and that's kind of like our biggest announcement. The other thing is we are Northside. We are part of that family, always. We appreciate everything that Northside does for us. All of you guys, you're all part of our family. You're my kids, like I've already said. Also, I want to give a shout out to Houston Flying Disc Society. They just got with us about their courses going back in. They will no longer be able, the Parks Department no longer is allowing vending in their parks, which was ironic that we are ending our vending and they can't have vendors at the parks anymore. So I want to mention that. But their leagues are going to go on. But we love them. I mean, I'm HFDS #1. Of course I love them. And we have all the support for everybody in the Houston area. Everything is coming home to Spring Valley. And we invite you guys out. We look forward to being able to open all of our configurations pretty soon. Bear with us, call ahead, make a tea time. And thank you guys.
Appreciate it, Andy.
All right. Y'all
Namaste.
take care. Namaste.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, Chris. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Mayor. Hope to see y'all soon.
Bye.
Oh, you will.
Bye-bye. Okay.
You will.
Fling Show. The Fling Show. Y'all wanna know about the mystery of flight. You wanna hear about the scene done right. So kill your TV and just come outside. We're gonna take you on a beautiful ride. The Fling Show. The Fling Show. The Fling Show. The Fling Show. The Fling Show.